What you're looking at right here is a 1950s, and I don't know the exact year, General Electric Thinline window air conditioner, room air conditioner I should say. I got this thing from a client who was moving and didn't want to take it with him, and I can't say I blame him. This thing is well over 100 pounds. I'm a fairly young and fairly in shape guy, and I was able to lift it into and out of my wife's Jeep by myself, but I'll tell you what, there was no fun in it whatsoever. This thing is a beast. So let's look over here at the outer case. It's about 18 inches deep and about, I would guess, almost 2 feet tall. And the appeal with this unit was that it did not protrude far out from the wall of a building or a house, but at the same time the trade-off is that it definitely makes up for that lack of depth with an abundance of height. So this thing, it's very difficult to fit into a standard window that you would find nowadays. Sorry for the mess out here. I'm in my garage, and I don't feel like bringing this unit into the house quite yet because, like I said, it's extremely difficult to move. I just cleaned it up. But anyways, let's look at the panel, the front panel. Here's the air controls basically that fit over the evaporator side. The fan, the evaporator fan, acts as a pusher fan. It pushes air through the evaporator coil from the back side and blows out through it, as opposed to one of the squirrel cage blowers that you see in some units where it sucks air through the evaporator and then blows it out the fan area. But you got basically like a Fetter's weather wheel here. Infinite directional control from 3 different spots. Here's the back side. Very good shape. A little dusty, but not too bad. Here's the two, that's just a little plate that covers up the electronic, or electrical wiring I should say. Here's your control panel. There's 2 knobs, one on the left, which still extra functionality. It has 4 functions, which are pretty interesting. Exhaust controls there's a damper system inside the unit that I'll show you shortly, that when it's on exhaust mode it actually turns the fan backwards. Or I'm sorry, when it's on exhaust mode it opens up the dampers completely and just draws air out of the unit outside the house. Cool mode is pretty self-explanatory. Cool vent opens that damper about halfway, allowing some fresh air to get into the unit. No doubt lowering its overall efficiency, but allowing fresh air to enter the home. The vent section actually turns the fan motor in the complete opposite direction, shuts off the compressor, and opens the damper system all the way, so as to act as a mechanism to draw in pure air from the outside only. Thermostat goes 1 through 10. And then you have your fan only function. There's an air freshener function too, which I'll get to. I'm sure this is all well and good. Look at the back of the case here. It's a little dirty on the bottom left hand corner because you'll see that's where the condenser fan sucks air in and blows it over the condenser coils and out through the top, and I'll show you in just a second. Pretty nice looking case. Simple functional design, which General Electric tends to be known for. At least they used to be. I'm gonna look back here at the unit, the condenser side here. If you can see in there, the condenser fan's in pretty darn good shape. Motor still spins very freely. No sign of it binding up or anything. These fan blades are pretty cheap on these things. That's not a diss or anything. It's just the way it is. These are cheaply made. And they're all like that, and they tend to go off balance, which this one is a little bit off balance. It may have something to do with the slinger here. Let me spin it and see. Yeah, the slinger is a little warped, so I'm thinking that may be the cause of the slight vibration I get when running this thing. When looking at the coils, they're in perfect condition for this unit being probably 60 years old. The condenser coil here, the fins are in perfect shape. I cleaned them all up with that coil soap, that acid stuff, and got all the junk out of it. There's a lot of dirt in there. The entire top section of this, when I opened the case, was completely covered in a giant paper wasp nest. Luckily it was vacant, but I don't know how long it's been there, and I don't know if the unit ran with it in there, because if it did, I'm sure that it certainly gave hell to the refrigeration system. I'm sure the compressor was running at its peak head pressure, or at least pretty darn close to it, because no air was flowing through the back here at all. But looking here at the just big giant old school 4-pole reciprocating compressor. Mounts are in good shape. Sorry if this is a little shaky. My hand is starting to get tired. I'm just holding this in a claw fashion, my phone here. Also, I'll try to hurry this up. But looking at the tubing is perfect. We got, except for, you know what, one little thing. If you can see in there, there's the tube at the top there is the hot gas discharge line out of the compressor, and it's turning a little blue to oxidation from getting water sloshed all over it for many, many years by the slinger fan there. But the suction line in the foreground is in perfect shape. There's the charge point right there. And then this little tube right here coming down is where the hot liquid from the condenser comes out of the condenser and into this strainer dryer here, and then on into the orifice tube. So, you know, that's the throttling device right there, which then leads you into the evaporator. Evaporator is in perfect shape. I'll delve more into the functionality of this unit in other parts of the video. I just wanted to give you a basic overview in this one. I'll delve more into the workings of the damper system on the inside that control the exhaust and intakes. But here's the where the controls would be. Now here's a little problem. The only thing that stinks about this unit is that this switch right here, which controls, well, okay, remember how I told you that when this unit is in vent function, the compressor shuts off and it reverses the direction of the fan so as to allow fresh air from the outside to be pulled through the unit and ejected into the room. Well, this switch is malfunctioning because the compressor runs no matter what. It's supposed to be off when it's in vent operation, but it does not achieve that. I'm going to rip this open and try to figure out if there's something wrong, if there's a short somewhere in there, or if the thermostat's bad. I have no idea what type of thermostat this is. The sensor is nowhere to be found unless this, I was thinking originally that this was the thermostat sensor, and it probably is. This coiled piece of metal wire here, and this thing right here is actually an air freshener, and I don't know how it works, but it's designed so that when you push this down, some kind of contact is made, and I'm guessing it sprays out a little bit of perfume that's been charged up in there, but I'm guessing that by now it's long depleted. Let's look at the data plate real fast here. I don't know if you can read it. Probably not. It's very rough and the light doesn't help, but I'll read it off to you. Model number is 1R52NA2-16. Serial number is UN2-22638, and I don't know that date code UN2. I couldn't find it on the General Electric website. Maybe somebody could decode it for me and tell me what year this thing was actually produced. Compressor is 3/4 horsepower, so I'm guessing that this is about 9,000, 8,500, or 8,500, 9,000 BTUs. High side's 300 psi, low side's 200. Charge less than 2 pounds, and it says that the refrigerant is, let me see if I can zoom in on that for you, CHClF2, and if I recall my chemistry correctly, that's difluoromethane, or R22 refrigerant. So give this guy a little spin here. Evaporator fan. So yeah, that's the basic overview of the unit, and it does run, and the moment you've all been waiting for, I will turn it on right now. Compressor is very quiet. It's a 4-pole. It doesn't roar like the newer reciprocating compressors do, but it still sounds pretty cool. Here goes. Everything runs just fine. I'm not going to run it for a lengthy amount of time like this because without these baffles and without the case on, air just sort of flies out wherever it feels like it, from the side here, over the compressor. Usually this is blocked off, this side's blocked off, so that all the air directs out through the condenser, but that does not happen when the case is on. The air just kind of goes wherever it feels like. So there's basically no air going over this condenser really right now, and it's Gonna run the compressor up on high head pressure. You can see the coil's already starting to freeze up here. It's ice cold already. So the charge of refrigerant's obviously good. You can see some fog coming off there. You see that? Very humid tonight. It's had a heat wave here in upstate New York and the Northeast for the past week, and it's been very hot. It's 80 degrees at 11 o'clock p.m. right now and very humid. The compressor's chugging along, doing its thing. That's very hot coming into the strainer dryer. Yeah, it's very hot. Suction line's getting some condensation on it already. See some frost starting to form on the evaporator. Yeah, there's hardly any air coming through there, so this guy's already getting cold. So yeah, here's the unit. It works, and I'll make a few more videos getting into more detail once I figure out more about how this thing works, and I will get another video of it installed and with the case back on and everything hopefully restored to its former glory. Thanks for watching.